Day 126, Royal Kingdom, 2 Samuel 8, 1 Chronicles 10-11, Psalm 59. Let's begin. 2 Samuel 8. Now after these things, it happened that David struck the Philistines, and he humbled them. And David took the bridle of tribute from the hand of the Philistines. And he struck Moab, and he measured them with a line, leveling them to the ground. Now he measured with 2 lines, one to kill, and one to keep alive. And Moab was made to serve David under tribute. And David struck Hadadezer, the son of Rehob, the king of Zobah, when he set out to rule over the river Euphrates. And from his troops, David seized 1,700 horsemen and 20,000 foot soldiers. And he cut the sinew of the leg and all the chariot horses. But he left aside enough of them for 100 chariots. And the Syrians of Damascus arrived, so that they might bring reinforcements to Hadadezer, the king of Zobah. And David struck down 22,000 men of the Syrians. And David positioned a garrison in Syria of Damascus. And Syria served David under tribute. And the Lord assisted David in all things whatsoever that he set out to accomplish. And David took the armbands of gold, which the servants of Hadadezer had, and he brought them to Jerusalem. And from Beta and Beeroth, cities of Hadadezer, King David took an exceedingly great amount of brass. Then Toi, the king of Hamath, heard that David had struck down the entire strength of Hadadezer. And so, Toi sent his son Joram to King David, so that he might greet him with congratulations, and give thanks, because he had fought against Hadadezer, and had struck him down. For indeed, Toi was the enemy of Hadadezer. And in his hand were vessels of gold, and vessels of silver, and vessels of brass. And King David also sanctified these things to the Lord, with the silver and gold that he had sanctified from all the peoples whom he had subdued. From Syria, and Moab, and the sons Ammon, and the Philistines, and Amalek, and from the best spoils of Hadadezer, the son of Rehob, the king of Zobah. David also made a name for himself when he returned from seizing Syria, in the valley of the salt pits, having cut down 18,000. And he positioned guards in Edom, and he stationed a garrison. And all of Edom was made to serve David. And the Lord assisted David in all things whatsoever that he set out to accomplish. And David reigned over all of Israel. And David accomplished judgment and justice with all his people. Now Joab, the son Zeruiah, was over the army. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Ahilud, was the keeper of records. And Zadok, the son of Ahitub, and Ahimelech, the son of Abiathar, were the priests. And Sariah was the scribe. And Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Cherethites and Pelethites. But the sons of David were priests. 1 Chronicles 10:11. Now the Philistines were fighting against Israel, and the men of Israel fled from the Philistines, and they fell down wounded on Mount Gilboa. And when the Philistines had drawn near, pursuing Saul and his sons, they struck down Jonathan, and Abinadab, and Malchishua, the sons of Saul. And the battle grew heavy against Saul. And the archers found him, and they wounded him with arrows. And Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Unsheathe your sword and kill me. Otherwise these uncircumcised men may arrive and mock me." But his armor-bearer was not willing, having been struck with fear. And so Saul took hold of his sword, and he fell upon it. And when his armor-bearer had seen this, specifically, that Saul was dead, he now fell on his sword also, and he died. Therefore Saul died, and his 3 sons passed away, and his entire house fell, together. And when the men of Israel who were living in the plains had seen this, they fled. And since Saul and his sons were dead, they abandoned their cities and were dispersed, here and there. And the Philistines arrived and lived among them. Then, on the next day, when the Philistines were taking away the spoils of the slain, they found Saul and his sons, lying on Mount Gilboa. And when they had despoiled him, and had cut off his head, and had stripped his armor, they sent these things into their land, so that they would be carried around and displayed in the temples of the idols and to the people. But his armor they consecrated in the shrine of their god, and his head they affixed in the temple of Dagon. When the men of Jabesh Gilead had heard this, specifically, all that the Philistines had done concerning Saul. Each one of the valiant men rose up, and they took the bodies of Saul and of his sons. And they brought them to Jabesh. And they buried their bones under the oak that was in Jabesh. And they fasted for 7 days. Thus did Saul die for his iniquities, because he betrayed the commandment of the Lord which he had instructed, and did not keep it. And moreover, he even consulted a woman diviner. For he did not trust in the Lord. Because of this, he caused his death, and he transferred his kingdom to David, the son of Jesse. Then all of Israel was gathered to David at Hebron, saying, "We are your bone and your flesh." Also, yesterday and the day before, when Saul still reigned, you were the one who led out and brought in Israel. For the Lord your God said to you, "You shall pasture my people Israel, and you shall be the leader over them." Therefore, all those greater by birth of Israel went to the king at Hebron. And David formed a pact with them before the Lord. And they anointed him king over Israel, in accord with the word of the Lord, which he spoke by the hand of Samuel. Then David and all of Israel went to Jerusalem. The same is Jebus, where the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land, were. And those who were living in Jebus said to David, "You shall not enter here." But David seized the stronghold of Zion, which is the city of David. And he said, "Whoever shall strike the Jebusites first, shall be ruler and commander." And so Joab, the son of Zeruiah, ascended first, and he was made the leader. Then David lived in the stronghold, and for this reason it was called the city of David. And he built up the city all around, from Millo even to every side. But Joab built the rest of the city. And David continued advancing and increasing, and the Lord of hosts was with him. These are the leaders of the strong men of David, who assisted him, so that he would become king over all of Israel, in accord with the word of the Lord, which he spoke to Israel. And this is the number of the robust of David: Jashobeam, the son of a Hachmonite, leader among the 30. He lifted up his spear over 300, who were wounded at one time. And after him, there was Eleazar, the son of his uncle, an Ahohite, who was among the 3 powerful ones. He was with David in Pasdammim, when the Philistines were gathered to that place for battle. Now the field of that region was full of barley, but the people had fled from the face of the Philistines. These men stood in the midst of the field, and they defended it. And when they had struck down the Philistines, the Lord gave a great salvation to his people. Then 3 from the 30 leaders descended to the rock where David was, to the cave of Adullam, when the Philistines had made camp in the valley of the Rephaim. Now David was in a stronghold, and a garrison of the Philistines was in Bethlehem. And then David desired and said, "Oh, if only someone would give me water from the well of Bethlehem, which is at the gate." Therefore, these 3 broke through to the midst of the camp of the Philistines, and they drew water from the well of Bethlehem, which was at the gate. And they took it to David, so that he might drink. But he was not willing, and instead, he offered it as a libation to the Lord, saying, "Far be it from me, that I would do this in the sight of my God, and that I would drink the blood of these men. For at the peril of their own lives, they brought the water to me." And for this reason, he was not willing to drink. The 3 most powerful accomplished these things. Also, Abishai, the brother of Joab, was the leader of the 3, and he lifted up his spear against 300, who were wounded. And he was most renowned among the 3. And he was famous among the second 3, and their leader. Yet truly, he did not reach as far as the first 3. Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, from Kabzeel, was a very mature man, who had accomplished many deeds. He struck down the 2 lions of God from Moab. And he descended and killed a lion in the middle of a pit, in the time of snow. And he struck down an Egyptian man, whose stature was 5 cubits, and who had a spear like a weaver's beam. And yet he descended to him with a staff. And he seized the spear that he was holding in his hand. And he killed him with his own spear. These things were done by Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, who was most renowned among the 3 robust ones. The first among the 30. Yet truly, he did not reach as far as the 3. Then David placed him beside his ear. Moreover, the strongest men of the army were Asahel, the brother of Joab, and Elhanan, the son of his uncle, from Bethlehem. Shammath, a Hararite, Helez, a Pelonite. Ira, the son of Ikesh, a Tekoite, Abizer, an Anathothite. Sibbecai, a Hushathite, Eli, an Ahohite. Maharai, a Netophathite, Heled, the son of Baanah, a Netophathite. Ithai, the son of Ribai from Gibeah, of the sons of Benjamin, Benaiah, a Pirathonite. Hurai from the torrent Gash, Abel, an Arbathite, Asmaveth, a Baharamite, Eliabah, a Shalbanite. The sons of Hashem, a Gizonite, Jonathan, the son of Shaji, a Hararite. Ahiam, the son of Satcher, a Hararite. Eliphel, the son of Uar. Hefer, a Masherathite, Ahijah, a Pelonite. Hezro, a Carmelite, Naharai, the son of Ezbai. Joel, the brother of Nathan, Mibhar, the son of Hagri. Zelek, an Ammonite, Narai, a Beerothite, the armor-bearer of Joab, the son of Zeruiah. Ira, an Ithrite, Gareb, an Ithrite. Uriah, a Hittite, Zabad, the son of Ale. Adina, the son of Shiza, a Reubonite, the leader of the Reubonites, and 30 who were with him. Hanan, the son of Makkah, and Joshaphat, a Mithnite. Uzziah, an Ashtarothite, Shammah and Jeiel, the sons of Hotham, an Aroerite. Jediel, the son of Shimri, and Joha, his brother, a Tizite. Eliel, a Moabite, and Jeribai and Joshaviah, the sons of Elnam, and Ithma, a Moabite, Eliel, and Obed, and Jaziel from Mezabate. Psalm 59. Unto the end. For those who will be changed, with the inscription of a title, of David himself, for instruction. When he set fire to Mesopotamia of Syria and Sobal, and Joab turned back and struck Idumea, in the valley of the salt pits, 12,000 men. O God, you have rejected us, and you have ruined us. You became angry, and yet you have been merciful to us. You have moved the earth, and you have disturbed it. Heal its breaches, for it has been moved. You have revealed to your people difficulties. You have made us drink the wine of remorse. You have given a warning sign to those who fear you, so that they may flee from before the face of the bow, so that your beloved may be delivered. Save me with your right hand, and hear me. God has spoken in his holy place. I will rejoice, and I will divide Shechem, and I will measure the steep valley of the tabernacles. Gilead is mine, and Manasseh is mine, and Ephraim is the strength of my head. Judah is my king. Moab is the cooking pot of my hope. Into Idumea I will extend my shoe. To me, the foreigners have been made subject. Who will lead me into the fortified city? Who will lead me all the way to Idumea? Will not you, O God, who has rejected us? And will not you, O God, go out with our armies? Grant us help from tribulation, for salvation from man is empty. In God we will act virtuously, and those who trouble us, he will lead to nothing.